Hi, loves. Okay. 7 people on. Yay. Hi, everyone. Okay. Hello, hello. Okay. Welcome to the best webinar you're ever going to watch in your entire fucking life. So I'm just going to give it like 10 seconds and then we're going to get started. Okay. Cool beans. Oh wait, I need to make sure this is recording. Cool, it automatically recorded. Look at that. Perfect. Hi, everyone. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about how I manifest clients out of the mother effing blue. This is one of my favorite things to talk about and teach about because I'm just quite frankly amazing at it. And this wasn't always the case. I used to be really bad at signing clients, period, or getting clients, period, or making money, period. And now I have it dialed down to a science, so I thought it was about time I teach you guys. So we're going to talk about how I manifest clients, and you guys are going to leave learning just how to do it in your own business too. So today we are going to cover like understanding that you create your own reality. So here we're very into the law of attraction. We're into manifestation, obviously, hence the title of the webinar. And we're going to talk about some limiting ideas that you have to shift through. Like your deservingness around making money or making a certain amount of money, you being able to get paid clients without burning out. So like consistently posting on Facebook, Twitter. Does anybody really use Twitter anymore? I don't know. Instagram, whatever, constantly getting people on discovery calls or breakthrough calls or whatever you want to call them. We're going to throw that shit out the window and manifest clients anyways. So the mindset shifts you need to make in order to start letting clients naturally flow to you and just ready to pay you, right? So not having to do that, oh, hey, person who teaches this stuff, do you think you could help me? And not doing the whole like convincing game, right? Like they're like, so people, when they come to me, they're like, Genevieve, I know you're the coach for me. I don't have to get on the phone with them. And they're just like, how much is it? Cool, let's do it. Here's the money. Let's get started, right? So I want that for you too. Okay, so you're in the right place if you're having trouble signing clients in general, just period, or making money within your business. You have a horrible relationship with money, so you're constantly worried about money. You maybe avoid checking your bank account. That was me for a while. Or when you do check your bank account because you try and be really responsible and keep track of those things, you freak out and you're scared, right? It freaks you out. It freaks you out. So you're wondering how other people on the internet sign clients so easily and what's wrong with you? Like, why don't you have that life, right? And you want to learn the art of law of attraction to create abundance within your business, given, right? Okay, so a little bit about me. My name's Genevieve. Hi. I have a multiple 6-figure business. Obviously, I haven't always had this business and I haven't always made this much money. There was a point when I really struggled with making money. I love that I teach on this stuff because I always say I was the person with the worst relationship with money out of anyone I ever met on this entire planet. So if I can overcome it, you sure as shit can too, I swear. So I grew up in a pretty harsh environment, especially when it came to money. My family and I always struggled financially. My mom was always worried about money. There were periods of time when our lights would get shut off. We wouldn't have money for food, stuff like that. Good times. And I just had a horrible mindset around money. So because of the environment I grew up in, and I was constantly in this mentality of scarcity when it came to money. I never felt like I had enough, which was true for a while. I just never had enough money, never had enough money, never had enough money. And that was my life. There was a point when I was a young adult, like 18-ish, living with my mom. And my mom couldn't financially handle taking care of me. So things like feeding myself were iffy and not abundant. So even something as basic as feeding myself or putting gas in my car, like I couldn't handle, I couldn't keep up with. So been there, done that, know what it's like. And there was just this sense of always looking to my bank account to feel a sense of safety or security in the world, right? So there was actually a point where my relationship with money was so fucked up that I literally wanted to kill myself. I actually talk about this. You've probably heard me talk about this on the internet if you are familiar with me. If you're not, hey. But there was a time when I was trying to get my business off the ground, hadn't made any money, right? And it just got really, really dark. I was in a controlling relationship. It was pretty gnarly, and I was living with my mom. And there was this specific point in time that I remember very, very, very vividly where I was sitting in my mom's dining room in Sioux City, Iowa, which is where I'm from. Shout out to the Midwest. I don't live there anymore. But anyways, so I was sitting in my mom's dining room in Sioux City, Iowa, working on my broken Dell laptop computer. I broke the screen and I couldn't afford to fix it. So I would every day carry down this Dell laptop from my room along with a big, like bulky ass TV. So I could plug in the HDMI cord and actually have a screen that I could see things with and do things on my computer. Right. So I was sitting at the broken laptop, hungry, didn't have money for food. My mom made it very clear she wasn't helping me because she just didn't have the means. I felt really stuck. I felt really frustrated. And how many of you have ever been hangry? That doesn't help ever, right? I was also hangry and I just felt really stuck and very frustrated. And I was like, I can't even effing feed myself. What is this shit, right? Life's hard. God hates me. Did the whole, life sucks thing. And I just got to this point where I just wanted to quit. I wanted to give up because it felt like I'd been trying and trying and trying for so long and nothing was working. And I kept not making money, kept not signing clients, right? And being hungry didn't help. It felt like, why is it so hard to even just feed myself, right? So at the time I was prescribed to Adderall for like ADHD. And I was taking that. I didn't feel as though I needed it, but I was taking it at the time to allow myself to focus more on my business and also to suppress my appetite so I could eat less because like I said, I didn't really have money to feed myself. So I felt really, really, really just bad and hopeless and stuck. And I thought about going up to my room and taking all of the Adderall and just being done with it, being done with everything, right? And this was all because of money. And something inside of me in that moment just kind of broke, like in a really good way. And I was like, you know what, this is bullshit. I'm wanting to go upstairs and end my life, like take Genevieve Rackham off the planet because of money. This is horseshit. There has to be a better way. Things have to change. I'm going to make this work. If it like come hell or high water, this is fucking working. I'm never, ever, ever going to be in this space ever again where I think about killing myself or taking my own life because of money. Right. So obviously I didn't do it because here I am. But yeah, it was a very, 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 very tough time in my life at the time. So when I started my business, just as like a young adult or like teenager-ish time, I was like, I want to at least be making six figures. Cause to me in my mind, that was like a lot of money. That was like, I've made it. That was the goal. Right. And I was like, anything beyond that will be amazing. And obviously I've surpassed that because I'm at the multiple six-figure level now. And I was like, I have to at least make six figures. Right. So at the same time, I'd never really worked on my mindset or mentality around money. And I still had a really, really effed up relationship with it. So anytime the subject of money entered my brain, I just got really, really anxious, felt really scared, felt really incapable, felt very victimized, etc. And it took some time and some work, and obviously I got through it. So there was a time when I couldn't get any clients on the phone. Like people would constantly like not show up to the discovery calls that I did get. Or if they would show up, they'd be like, I can't afford it. I can't afford to work with you, Genevieve. Or there was this one time, this story is like laughable now, but at the time it was very like it was almost traumatic to me at the time, to be dramatic. But, I just kind of stepped up and I was like, I'm going to sign clients come hell or high water. Like, this is the work I'm meant to be doing in the world. I want to help people. I want to have a positive impact, and I sure shit want to make money doing it. Right. So there was this one time when I was doing a discovery call and it was going amazingly, or so I thought. And we got to the point where I was like, would you like to hear about my one-on-one program? Right. And the person was like, oh my gosh, yes, I have to work with you. And I was like, awesome. So to work with me one-on-one, it was, at the time it was 3 months and it was $1,000 per month. And I was like, it's 3 months. We talk weekly and it's $1,000 per month. And then the line went dead. Right. And I was like, it took a lot of courage for me to even say my prices on the phone at that point in time. And I was like so scared and so nervous. And then for the line to go dead, I was like embarrassed. I was very embarrassed. And I was like, what just happened? Right. And I was like, maybe her phone died. Let me just give her the benefit of the doubt. Right. And I called this person back. They didn't answer. So I sent them a follow-up email and I was like, hey, I'm not sure what happened. Yeah, like, let's continue this conversation if you want to. That person was never heard from again by me. So that moment specifically was a big fucking moment for me, because there was, up until that point, I was functioning from this space where I was like, I want to be convinced of my value. I want to be convinced of my worth, right? I want people to convince me of the value of my work, right? If someone signs up with me, then I'll believe in myself. And that specific moment shifted everything for me, because it was like, you know what? Fuck this person. I was like, fuck this person and fuck people if they don't want to work with me. I'm just going to decide to know my value, right? I'm just going to decide to know the value of my work. So to compare this to romantic relationships, which I like to do, if you've ever been in a relationship or sought out to be in a relationship where you didn't feel you were being valued, right? I think we've all had this experience at one point in time where we just decided to say, fuck it, throw our hands in the air and just start loving ourselves and knowing our value. And this person can either step up and value us too, or they can go the hell away, right? I brought that level of confidence into my business, and then things started shifting. So, yeah, like the slideshow says, when I would put out an offer, I got little to no response. There was a point when I launched a group program, and because nobody signed up within 24 hours, I took it down and I canceled it and I changed my mind. Right. That was really embarrassing. Yeah. So like I said, things used to be rough and I just felt very undervalued when it came to my work. So eventually I just stepped into this confidence where I was like, I don't care. I don't care if you like me. I don't care if you don't see the value in my work, because I'm going to know it. And from that energy, speaking from a law of attraction perspective, things shifted and I just started attracting people who started to know my value, and started to, just know the value of my work and want to actually work with me. I didn't feel like I had to convince people anymore. So when I began to work on my money mindset, my beliefs about money, and when I just kind of challenged the stories and the memories I had around money and made them mean different things just felt a lot easier, right? Because what I truly, truly believe is making money, growing a successful business doesn't have to be hard, right? Keyword doesn't have to be, or key phrase doesn't have to be hard, right? But a lot of us make it hard. And I know I did for a long mother effing time in the beginning of my business. I made it really, really hard. Right? Because I was bogged down by all these ideas and all these beliefs that I had about money, right? Who would pay me that much money? Who am I to charge that much money, right? Let me know if you relate. So I promoted, in the beginning of my business, I promoted free calls a lot to try and get people on the phone so I could practice selling. Prior to that, I had no sales experience, absolutely zero. And I also was very put off by the just the phrase selling. I was like, I don't want to have to sell myself. I don't want to have to convince people that my work is good, right? There has to be another way to do this, right? And so when I started doing the work around money, what I believed about it, what I believed about my personal value and the value of the work I wanted to put out into the world, the way I wanted to help people, the way I wanted to change people's lives, and I just started inherently knowing that value, it's like these ideas that were congruent or didn't match up with what I wanted just started to fall away, right? Some of them hung on a little longer than others. You know, it's not like, oh, they all just fell away and everything was amazing and I skipped off into the sunset. It was a process for sure, but it just got easier, right? It got easier. And this is why I ended up getting to this point where I didn't even have to promote my one-on-one at all. People would just reach out to me and be like, Genevieve, I have to work with you. I don't need a business coach or a money mindset coach or whatever it is I call myself. Who knows? Just whatever I'm feeling that day, honestly. It's just Genevieve, right? They were like, I need you specifically, Genevieve. I need what you specifically provide. I need your specific perspective on it. And I was like, oh shit, really? But I actually didn't honestly feel that surprised because I was inherently knowing my value, right? And the value of my work. And I just decided to step up and fucking own it, right? So, yeah. So that's what changed. I just stepped up and owned my value. And I decided like owning your value isn't something that life has to convince you of. It's not something that, you know, you getting a sale will validate. It's something that you have to know, and you know it by just deciding to know it, right? It's a decision. It's a choice. Just like, you know, you can feel hot whether you lose the 10 pounds yet or not, right? It's a fucking decision, right? So within this training, I'll show you my 3-step process to unfucking your brain with money to sign clients out of the blue. Get offers to sell easily and manifest money in the life you want. They all go hand in hand, personally, is what I believe. So when you start unraveling the bullshit lies that you've learned, God bless our parents, they did the best they could, or whoever we grew up with, right? But we got passed down a lot of bullshit ideas on what life is supposed to be like, on what money's like, on how we have to be in order to make money, on who we have to become in order to be worthy of making a lot of money. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit lies. Throw it in the trash, please and thank you. So step 1, I'm clapping in case you were wondering what that noise was. How you are creating your own reality of not getting what you want in your life and business. So if your business is not flowing, is not working, if signing clients is hard, if nobody seems to give a shit about what you have to say, your perspective, your work, your value, it's because there's a belief or there's an idea you're bringing into play with you every damn day in your business, in your thoughts about money that are keeping you from having that experience. Because in all reality, like what I truly believe is all you have to do is be an energetic match to what you want and you will have it. So one of 2 ways this will happen. So you will either just be in this very receiving energy where you're not doing anything. There's no pressure there. There's no rules there that are like, this is who I have to be. This is what I have to do. I have to post on social media every single day, twice a day. Otherwise people are going to forget about me and I'm going to become irrelevant. Like those things don't exist anymore. And you're just being and you're just feeling good, right? You're being in alignment. So everything you want because you believe you will feel better in the having of it. I'm quoting Abraham Hicks on that one. So doesn't it make sense that if you're feeling good, you're an energetic match to what you want? Of course, duh. So, yeah, what a lot of us do though, is like, we're not aware when we're thinking these thoughts, these limiting ideas around money, around who we are, around who we have to be, around what our program or offers are good enough or whatever. We're not aware that we're doing it because we're so used to doing it all the time, right? So, you know, just like on your car, you know, you have your blind spots, right? We all have our blind spots. So, through your own experiences in life, you have made your own relationship with money. So true. Most likely a love-hate relationship with money, right? Like you want money, but you kind of hate that it's not here. So there's this resentment there within that relationship, right? You've learned it from your parents. You've learned it from society. You've learned it from school. You've learned it from, you know, just the media, whatever, right? Again, it's all bullshit. So you have a fucked up relationship with money. And one of my favorite sayings is, it's not your fault if you're fucked up, but it's your fault if you stay fucked up, right? This includes in your relationship with money. So it's not your fault if you're struggling with money, but it's your fault if you continue to struggle with money. And I'm not saying this from a perspective of like blame yourself and beat yourself up, more from a perspective of like empower yourself and step up and take personal responsibility, right? Because I know there was a period for me in my early adulthood where I blamed my mom a lot. I didn't have the best relationship with her growing up. And I was like, oh, she was so fucked up with money. It's her fault. I am. Right. And, you know, I could do that over and over and over for the rest of my life and stay disempowered, or I could just choose to be like, you know what? She was a human being. She did her best. It is what it is. I can just love her for being a human, for being my mom. But it's time that I start taking personal responsibility and start doing the work, start doing the internal work. Right. So, through having a fucked up relationship with money, you have created the business and life you are in now. So step 2 is understanding you're not alone, right? This is so important to remember and keep in mind always. So the universe has your back. And what I truly believe is like the desires of your heart are your blueprint from God. It's literally what you're meant to do in your life. It's what you're meant to accomplish in this lifetime. And so if you have the desire in your heart to make a lot of money, to be rich, to be a millionaire, to be a billionaire, like whatever it is, there's always a way, right? God wouldn't give you the desire if he didn't have the plan, right? Whatever you believe in, God, the universe, he, she, it, we, whatever you want to call it, right? So, because I know when we get into the details, right? The details are where everyone trips up. How is this going to work? When is it going to work? Whatever. That's a good place to leave it. How and when. We tend to forget that we're not doing this by ourselves. And when we think we're doing it all by ourselves, we tend to freak out and we fall into one of two energies. So we're not feeling safe. We're not feeling secure. We're not trusting that it's going to work. And so we start to become a control freak, right? And then we try and do, push out offer, convince people. And then it's like, that's when you burn out, right? That's when you go, I don't think I'm cut out for this. This isn't what I want to be doing with my life, right? Because you're dragging all this effed up energy into the situation day in and day out with you. And it's like driving your car with your emergency brake on. It's like, it's gonna catch up with you, right? It's gonna do some damage. So, and then the other way, which was, I did this a lot growing up. My parents could vouch for me, my mom, and my sisters. But anyways, I just got into this complacent energy a lot where, I would just kind of give up and get lazy. And lazy isn't the right word, but I would get very I would feel defeated before I ever started anything in the first place. And so I wouldn't feel motivated to do anything. Right. And it was because I was hanging on to this resistance, whatever it was at the time, like, I don't know how to do it. I'm not good enough. I don't know what I'm doing. And all these ideas that I hung on to kept me from moving forward. And I just hung on to those ideas. And so I didn't feel the natural inspiration that would flow through me had I become an energetic match to what I wanted. Right. Because again, your desires will come to you in one of two ways. Either you're being an energetic match to it and there's nothing you feel guided, led, or inspired to do, and it just comes to you. Hence the manifesting clients out of the blue, which is like, I'm the queen at doing, by the way, tell your friends. So there's that way. And then the second way is you're just you're being an energetic match to what you want, and you're staying in that energy, right? You're staying in that energy independent of what's going on in your life, independent of whether a bill's going to be due in like a couple of days and you don't know where the money's coming, independent of whether you've signed a client before in your entire life or not. It's just independent of that. You're being in that energy unconditionally, right? And then what happens if you are meant to be a cooperative component, like if God needs you to be play a part in this in order for you to have it, materialize it, create it, manifest it, you will be guided, led, and inspired, right? And again, God's a loose term, God, the universe, whatever you want to call he, she, it, we. So yeah, you'll get the inspiration. So you get an idea and you'll get the energy backing it to act on the idea, right? And then that idea will lead you to signing clients or to making money in your business. Does that make sense? Cool. So there we go. Okay. So the universe, literally, seriously, I swear, I promise, take my word for it. Just believe me. The universe will always have your back and give you your manifestation. Like, will bring you your manifestation, give you whatever you want. But you have to believe in you have to believe in it regardless of what's going on in your life. Like, I always talk about it like this. So it's not something you do like, oh, okay, I'm going to get into alignment so that I can manifest money. Oh my gosh, it's not working. It's not working. It's not working. It's like when you go into it with this ulterior motive of like, okay, fine, let me just do this so I'll manifest this money. It's like you're bringing in this resistance with you in the first place. And so it's temporary. Does that make sense? And so what ends up happening is like you start to check in and you start to keep score and you're like, it's not working. It's not working. It's not working. And you're no longer being an energetic match to what you want. So I always say it's like a lifestyle change. Like veganism, for example, if you're a vegan or not a vegan, I don't care. I'm not judging anybody, but it's like a lot of people go vegan, for example, as like a lifestyle change. Like they want to make this long-term improvement to their health if they believe that's the avenue to do it. Or they want to make this long-term change to impact animals positively if they believe that's the way to do it. Or they want to, impact the environment in a good way if they believe that's the way to do it, right? This is like something you become. It's a way of life. It's a change you make forever. It's not something you just try out and like dip your toe in the water and let's see how it works or whatever. You just like, you full on go for it full on, right? So you're in the energy unconditionally until it works. And that means like when you've made a decision to have something, you have all had this experience, right? We all have. I know we have. If you haven't, you're lying. If you say you haven't, you're lying. But we've all had this moment where we just decide to have something, and it could just be as simple as like, I'm going to buy myself this phone case, or I'm going to go get my nails done today, or I'm going to take the day off and spend it with my family, or whatever it is. It's like nothing will deter you from having it, right? You get into this stubborn energy, which is productive, this productive, stubborn energy that's like, I'm going to have it come hell or high water. And I explain it like hanging on till the 11th hour. So it's like, if you want the money by tomorrow at midnight, for example, it's like, if the money doesn't come at midnight, you're still in the energy, right? You hang out in the energy until the next day and the next day and the next day, until these things happen, until these things move, until these things manifest, like period, end of story. There isn't a but or an if in there anywhere, right? So if you've decided that you won't sign clients because you suck at sales calls, you're obviously creating that, duh. We're all about manifestation and creating your own reality here. So it's all about making a decision to believe you just get to have clients. And again, for me, that was so here's kind of what I did. There was this moment, and this specific situation that I'm about to tell you happened right before I got on a discovery call when I signed my first high-end paying client, which to me at the time was $1,000 per month for 3 months. Now my one-on-one program is fixed as a $6,000 deposit, $4,000 per month for 12 months. And that will change soon. But anyways, at the time, $1,000 was like just the starting point. That was what I learned. I heard that's where you start when you get into the coaching industry, was $1,000 per month. So I just got behind other people's energy. I was like, they seem certain on that. I'll start at 1,000, right? And, so yeah, what ended up happening before the sales call when I signed my first client was I started feeling nervous, right? Like I did before every single discovery call that I had. Started feeling nervous. I started feeling anxious. I started like doubting that they were going to want to work with me or that I was going to be able to help them. And I just started getting insecure, right? And here's kind of what changed. I would try to like hype myself up and listen to music. And I put on this song by Sierra, if you know who Sierra is. And it was like, yeah, I know. And it's like, yeah, no, you want me? Yeah, no, yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's like, it's a really good song. But anyway, so I put that on and I was like, you know what? Fuck this shit. Like, if she doesn't want to work with me, I don't care, right? I do not give a flying shit, right? I'm just going to show up and own it. And I was like, what would Genevieve do, who already has a multi-million-dollar business, who has that confidence, who knows people like value her work, her time, and she's just not afraid to like own her space, own her boundaries, and like call people out and just be fully herself and be real, right? I was like, let's be her on this discovery call. And so I just showed up and I owned my shit, and I was like, let's change your effing life. Like, let's do this, right? And I signed my first client. And I ended up helping that client out a lot. She started her own coaching business, and within the period of working together, she ended up having like her first $5,000 a month in business, which to me at the time was like a big deal. So yeah, it worked out for both of us, right? And that's another thing I had to keep in mind is like, if I have the desire to help people, to impact people's lives in a certain way, and I fuck it up by getting insecure, by getting worried, or by worrying about what other people will think of me, or worrying about if they want to work with me or whatever, it's like, not only am I doing myself a disservice, but I'm also doing the people in the world a disservice who need my work, right? Because what I truly, truly believe is like, if I have the desire to teach this stuff in the world, there are people who need it and who will only hear it from my perspective, who need it the way I will teach it and the way I will explain it. So it's not just about me, it's about the people I'm here to help, right? So step 3 is utilizing the support of the universe, right? So this is a very, very important step. They all are, obviously. Hence why they're all here. But this is really just about like, when you get those ideas, right? When you get into the energy of what you want and you stay there, right? Because you get unconditional, because you make a decision, because if you're going to have this life come hell or high water, right? It's like, it's just like, you're not like, life can't fuck with you is what it feels like. It feels like a bill could come out of nowhere, or something could happen or whatever. And you're just like, whatever. Like, I can handle it. I'm capable. Like, I'm rising the fuck up. Not a big deal. Right. And you just handle it. Everything feels figure outable. And then it's like, you're staying in that energy. And then what ends up happening is, these ideas start to come in, right? Or the clients come out of nowhere, and it's your job to not sabotage them when they come in. So when the client comes out of nowhere and is like, I'm ready to hire you, like, let's do it. You don't let your self-sabotaging thoughts of like, am I good enough? Can I actually help this person come up, right? You don't let those interfere with your ability to sign this client, right? So, for example, when I started signing clients out of the blue, this ended up happening because I was like, I just got to this point where I was like, discovery calls are fun and I like doing them, but I don't really want to do them anymore. Right. And I just played with this idea very, very lightly, where I was like, I want people to just come to me knowing they're ready to work with me and message me on Facebook. And I just want to be able to sign them over Facebook Messenger. And I was like, cool idea. Fun, fun, fun. Anyways, back to my life being Genevieve. Let me go eat some food. Let me just live my life, or whatever it was at the time. And, somebody reached out to me, and this is the first person I ever signed, like, without doing a sales call, right? But this person messaged me on Facebook and asked me for a recommendation for like a virtual assistant or something. And I was like, yeah, sure. Here's this person, or here's where I got mine, or here's where I found my girl. And they were like, so Genevieve, I have to work with you. And I was like, whoa, that came out of nowhere. That literally came out of left field. Was not expecting that at all. And I was like, shit, okay, let's do it then. And she was like, okay, I have this one fear, this one hesitation. I don't remember what it was, but I just like sent her a voice message. And I was like, look, this is like the easiest decision ever. You're either in or you're out. And it's like, you feel called to me, your soul knows what you need and who you need it from. Is that me? If so, let's do it. If it's not, then, go away. Right. Said with all the love in the world, of course. And she was like, yes, let's do it. And then I signed her, she paid me. And I think my rate at the time was maybe $1,400 a month or something like that. Or maybe it was $2,000. I don't know. I've changed my rate a lot over the last couple of years since I've been doing this work. But anyway, so it was the easiest thing ever. She just like was ready. She knew it was me. It was done. And then it only got easier, right? Then people started coming to me and they were like, Genevieve, I know it's you. They had zero obligation. They had zero like excuses, for lack of a better term. They had zero reasons why they wouldn't move forward, right? And they came to me already over their financial fear, already over the fear of investing, or already over, and they were just over the shit, and they were just ready, 1010% decided. So they could just be like, Genevieve, let's do this. Send me the contract, send me the links, like, I'm ready to go, let's do it. So yeah, it just got easier and easier. So utilizing the support of the universe is, just kind of stop being a control freak, basically. Don't let money, life, and any other obstacles take you like away from what you decided you're going to do. Because a decision is a decision, period, end of point, right? End of story. So it's like, if you make that decision, it's your job to make that decision over and over and over and over again until you get what you want, right? Because these fears and these doubts, these insecurities, they will come up. You're a human being. Welcome to planet Earth. Welcome to being a human, right? I have them too, We all have them. Every single person you look up to online or in your industry or whatever, literally we all have them. We all get them. But the difference between someone who, you know, makes the fucking dollar bills, who makes all the money, and someone who doesn't is whether or not they listen to them, right? So it's like, make that decision again and again and again, over and over again, until you get what you want, and stay there all the time. Stay there to the best of your ability. It won't be a perfect process. It will be messy sometimes. Again, welcome to being a human on planet Earth. But it's like, as long as you make that decision over and over again with that level of conviction that you have available to you always, it'll work. It'll just work when it works, and it will work soon. So, so when you see people like me on the internet talking about how it's just that easy and it's just like the most annoying thing you've ever heard, and you're like, yeah, shut up, probably easy for you to say, and you think of all these reasons of why, you know, it might be easier for me than you, right? I used to do that too. I used to do that too so hard, so much. Because like a limiting belief is a limiting belief, period, right? We can always find a reason why someone is why someone has a better opportunity to have what we want than we do, or why they, you know, had a better start to it, or they grew up in a better family environment or whatever, right? That was my favorite thing to hold on to. It was like, yeah, easy for her to say. Or, you know, I would go the other way and be like, there's no fucking way, she's lying. Like, there's no way she's making that much money. There's no way it's that easy for her. She's lying. She's leaving shit out. Liar, 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 right? That was my favorite one that kept me disempowered for a while, right? But period, end of story. You just have to let that shit go. Because it's like any idea, thought, or reason that is keeping you from believing you get to have what you want is keeping you from being an energetic match to it, right? And if you're not being an energetic match to it, you can't have it. So creating a good relationship with money is usually the hardest part of the process, and why people try. And, you know, the money or the clients seem very, very short-lived, or very temporary, or very inconsistent. That's a big one. Just drinking some water. So, yeah. So like I said, it was really just to kind of like sum up some of the things we've talked about thus far. You just have to know you're the shit. That's really what it boils down to. I was actually talking to my boyfriend about this the other day. I was laying on his couch and he was like sitting at his computer, and I was like, I love teaching on this. We were talking about this webinar, right? I was like, I'm so excited to teach on this because it's literally one of my favorite things ever to talk about. And I was like, it's literally just like, I'm the shit and I'm amazing. And of course you want to work with me. Of course, right? And it's just like, you have to get so fucking obsessed with yourself and your work that it's like, it doesn't feel far-fetched for people to just want to reach out to you and work with you and pay you thousands of dollars. It's like, duh. Of course they do. Your value, your inherent value is in your unique perspective, which comes from you just being you, which comes from you just living the life you've lived, knowing what you know, having the perspectives you have, and sharing that with the world. When you believe that's enough, it will be enough, period, nothing else to it. There's nothing else to it, I swear. So creating a good relationship with money is usually the hardest part of this process, and why people try and shit just doesn't work out, right? Like I said, it feels inconsistent, right? So, or it feels like there's always more I have to do, or if I want to make more money, I have to do more work, or whatever it is, right? But literally every time I've taken my business to the next level, every single mother effing time, it was all mindset. Sure, there were things I did. There were toys I played with, and there were systems I maybe created, or, you know, new people I added to my team and my business. But it's like, what's happened first was I became an energetic match to what I wanted. I made that decision. I decided I could have more, and all the reasons why I couldn't, or why I felt incapable, or why not me, I had to throw those out the fucking window, right? I had to make that decision, lock into it from a space of conviction, like nothing, like life can't shake me out of this space. Like I'm fucking staying here, right? And then it's like, from there, I got the ideas, I got the resources from the universe, right? And the resources to me mean the impulses, right? The inspiration, the ideas, the energy, not only just the ideas, but the energy to act on the ideas. Because how many of you guys have ever thought of Uber before, you know, Uber was created, but how many of us created it? One person, right? So it's like, the energy has to be backing you up, right? And that happens by just being in alignment longer, like that being your new normal, right? So when you're consistently there, life will get consistent with you. Does that make sense? So when you don't work out your issues around money, it's just not going to work, right? Because again, like when you're being an energetic match to what you want, you're like, cool, I get to have it, decided, conviction, period, got it, Genevieve, cool, bye, right? But it's like maintaining it is where the magic happens, right? So again, like holding on until that 11th hour, right? Holding on until midnight before your freaking carriage turns back into a pumpkin, right? And it's just like you hold on to it even when it looks like it's not working, but especially if it looks like it's not going to work, you hold on to it anyways. And then it's like the magic will happen. But what tends to fuck people up is like these ideas come in along the way when they're trying to hold on until the 11th hour, right? So these limiting ideas around money. And the way the brain works is like your brain is hard fucking wired for survival, right? So all of these ideas that we've taken on from childhood about money, right? Our brain took those on because, you know, when you fit in with your environment growing up, you're a hell of a lot more likely to be taken care of and survive, right? So we take on our parents' limiting ideas. So we take on society's limiting ideas because we don't want to, you know, stick out and be picked on or, you know, burned at the stake or whatever, because we're all witches, right? But anyways, so yeah, our brain takes on these things and they're just kind of, your brain is a beautiful thing because it's systemized to make your life a hell of a lot easier. So with these ideas going on in the background, they come up when you're going to expand your life, when you're going to move into this new territory of life or living life that you've never lived before. These ideas will come up and try and sabotage you because, scary, different, what if we die, right? That's the way your brain works. That's the way your brain thinks, right? So it's your job to, as these ideas come up, work through them, shift them, change them so that success isn't short-term, right? So that success isn't temporary, so that it's not inconsistent. Because the way my business works now is like when I hit a level, I fucking stay there and I grow, right? But there was a point in my business where I got to, it was like between $0 and $10,000 per month. I would always maintain it. Every time I hit a new income level, I would maintain it. And then I got to my first $24,000 month in business, I think, or 25 or 27 or something like that. And it was like an upper limit problem for sure. If you're not familiar, I'll explain it a little bit. But it's basically like this cap on this is how good my life gets to be. Any more than that is unfathomable to me and feels scary and unsafe to some unconscious place within your brain, right? So the 20-something mark was mine. The 20-something mark was mine. And then the next month I went down to $18,000. And like, ooh, big deal, Genevieve. It's still $18,000. Get over it, right? But like that to me meant something. I made it mean something. And I was like, holy shit, this is all falling apart. It's all going to fall apart, right? Because when I hit that new level of income, part of me freaked out. Part of me was like, oh my God, these bigger numbers are scarier and they're a bigger deal and whatever, right? And I made it a bigger deal. I made it this big scary thing, but I wasn't aware that I was doing it because it was unconscious, right? So I sabotaged that. And then the next month I went down to 11,000. And again, up until that point in my business, I'd never gone backwards. I'd never gone down in income, right? And then I had to do some hardcore inner work in order to get my business not only back up to that point, but beyond that into like the $30,000 and $40,000 per month mark in my business. And I got through it. So don't worry, I got you guys. So yeah, how can you guys do this? Drinking water. Okay, so I have this amazing course, the Get Lit with Money Bitch course, and this is the course I made. This is the course I made where I started applying everything from that moment in my mom's dining room in Sioux City, Iowa, where I was about to kill myself because of money. Everything I started applying after that moment to the point of having a multiple six-figure business, right? So again, I truly, truly, truly believe, and I just know you can disagree with me if you want. I truly, truly know and believe that having what you want is just being an energetic match to it. So how can you unfuck your brain with money so that these limiting ideas don't keep you from being an energetic match to what you want? So the Get Lit with Money Bitch course was originally a 4-module course. Now it's an 8-module course, including module 1, module 1.5, and then module 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So in this course, we go over literally everything I've applied to get my business to the point where it is, so that you can be an energetic match to what you want and you can make more money. So you're not wasting your fucking time with all these processes or all these strategies or whatever that, you know, other people swear by but aren't working for you for whatever reason. And you can instead just be an energetic match to what you want and have the resources of the universe backing you up fully 1010%. And then you can know exactly what it is you need to do next. There's this level of clarity there when you're in touch with that bigger perspective that you have access to when you're an energetic match to what you want. It's like having a bird's eye view on your life, right? So you're not stuck and bogged down in the details of the day to day. You have this bird's eye view perspective where you see very, very, very clearly what it is you need to do next. You can easily just glide into the next step and also have the resources backing you, which means the energy, the focus, and the vitality to back it up and follow through, right? Because it's one thing to have a really cool fucking business idea or plan, but it's like, if you're not an energetic match to it, what a lot of people do, just like a habit of that or a symptom of that is, you know, cool, I have this idea, but it doesn't feel right? Or something about it just doesn't feel like it's clicking or it's working, or I don't want to do that. That was my big thing. When I hired my first business coach in my business in the very beginning days, she would be like, Genevieve, do this strategy, do that strategy. And I'd be like, okay. And then I would get off the phone with her and I'd be like, I'm not doing that. I had my own shit to work through at that point in time, mindset wise, but I was so resistant to implementing strategies. Like I literally couldn't do it if my energy wasn't behind it. Hence this course, I found a way to get into the place where you can get your energy behind things. So not just behind random effing things, but behind the things that will actually help you grow your business. Not just limited to coaches. This work has been done with a lot of people, coaches, accountants, architects, engineers, like you name it, they've probably been in the course. So yeah, I created this course so that you can unfuck your brain with money and actually manifest the amount of money that you want. This course, literally every single thing in it got me to the 6 and multiple 6-figure level in my business. So I have some really cool testimonials for you guys. This is Lisa Dowers. We did this work together. And when she hired me, she was in a 9-to-5 job. And I've never gotten one of those, but I hear they're not the best. She was in a 9-to-5 job. And she was able to get $11,000 within a month, like call in $11,000, quit her corporate job, move to Bali, travel the world, be a full-time life coach. Pretty cool, right? So Conrad, he was actually in the last round of this course. I love Conrad. He's amazing. So I love everybody in the course, but yeah, Conrad has a special place in my heart. Okay. So Conrad, he actually reached out to me and paid off the course early because he got on the monthly payment plan. And yeah, he was like, he kept almost pulling the trigger on so many of my offers for a while. And as you can see in this testimonial, and he's like, you know what, F it, I'm joining the course. And he joined the course. And he got shit moving so quickly that he ended up making a lot more money within probably like a month or two and paid off the rest of the course early. So that's pretty baller. So as you guys can see, he's like this past month, however, joined the course just over a month ago. And he actually sent me this testimonial the other day, so it's really fresh. And this month has been the month with the most growth in his entire business within 5 years. So it was the kick in the ass he needed to fill what he wanted deep down. And he joined the course opting for the payment plan, but turns out I'm paying off the investing, or he paid it off early, like I said. And he's attracted more money into his life and has been able to grow his business exponentially just within the last like month and a half, which is fucking awesome. Right. So this course is not something that I want you in if you're like, oh, cool, let me just join the course, listen to the modules once, not apply any of it, and then just let this be a course that sits on the fucking shelf that I never utilize. This course has the ability to make you rich if you fully utilize it, which means you have lifetime access to it. So it means coming back, doing the work over and over and over again. Like I had to do. Again, this is the work I've been doing for the last 1.5 years, 2 years in my business to get my business to the level it's at right now and my relationship with money where it is right now, right? So, yeah. And okay, I have to tell you guys a couple more things. So there's a girl named Jacqueline. She might be on here because I think she signed up to this. But anyways, Hi, Jacqueline, if you're here. So Jacqueline is actually my accountant now, but she actually hired me and we did this work together. And this is kind of how I discovered that Jacqueline was an accountant in the world available for hire, right? But she hired me, we did this work together. And within 4 weeks of doing this work, she manifested $100,000. Like, this is just like batshit crazy, mind blowing, amazing. She manifested $100,000 on a scratch off ticket within 4 weeks. Isn't that crazy? And wait, there's more. Wait, there's more. Wait. And then like 3 months later, she did it again. Yeah. So $200,000 off 2 separate scratch off tickets. Isn't that batshit crazy? It's amazing. So I had another client, Aaron, who after doing this work together within 6 months, like the way he paid for this was he used PayPal credit, right? Paid in full using PayPal credit. And he was like, fuck man, I just have to do this. My soul is calling me. Like, let's do it. Right. And within 6 months in his business, he signed a $10 million client. So we got a $10 million contract within 6 months. Isn't that batshit crazy? So, not every single person who's been in the course has, gotten a $10 million contract or won $100,000 from a scratch off ticket. Again, this is work I've been doing. And I've funneled all this amazing energy into my business and grown to a multiple 6-figure level, right? But again, if you utilize this course fully, it will change your life. It will make you rich. You just have to utilize it, right? It's there. So, can you imagine getting clear on what you want, how much money you want to be making, and becoming aware of any contradictions you're practicing that are keeping you from making the amount of money you really, really want to be making? So those contradictions need to be thrown in the fucking garbage, right? Those are your problems, right? And once those are in the trash, you can be who you were meant to be in this world. You can make the amount of money you're meant to be doing or meant to be making. Because again, the desires of your heart are literally your fucking destiny. You're meant to be rich if you have the desire for it. So, and then figuring out and shifting your self-sabotaging habits that keep you from making money. Hello, I needed to do that, remember? So super good shit. And then making the next level badass you normal as fuck, right? So that what you want will actually for real manifest, right? Not like just be an idea, not just be something that feels good and like a fun idea that you play with, but something that you actually step into, create, and live that fucking life. Be that person, be that next level version of yourself. And then freeing up your energy to receive even more money. And these are kind of like, we go into this stuff in the modules because again, it's an 8-module course. And you can stop feeling like shit when you spend money so you can manifest way more. So cleaning up your relationship with how you spend money is fucking huge in your ability to make more money. If you've ever spent money, regretted it, or you don't let yourself ever buy anything because you're in such scarcity around money, we have some really, really killer work in there that will totally like blow the lid off your ability to make as much money as you want. So, and then rewiring your subconscious mind to support you in creating your bigger vision with money. Because again, our brains are 2 million-year-old survival mechanisms, right? So they're hardwired to keep us alive. And so we have these subconscious ideas that we've taken on from childhood, that we've taken on from society over the years, right? And those subconscious things are kind of like our unconscious driving forces, right? So if you've ever been on the brink of a breakthrough and then shit falls apart and you fall back into your old life, that's because those core driving forces, those subconscious like limiting ideas that are lingering in like the background, those come in and take over, right? So within this course, you're going to learn how to just like throw those out the window or change them to serve you, right? So when you're on the brink, you move over and you spill, like your cup runneth over into your beautiful new life. So the daily journaling, writing down your money manifesting desires, they won't get you what you want in your life if you don't work on your relationship with money first, like period, end of story. Like I said, when I started doing the work after I decided not to kill myself and start doing the work in this, just in my relationship around money, like signing clients out of the blue didn't feel hard. It didn't feel like a fucking miracle. It felt like normal everyday life, right? It was like, of course people are going to pay me thousands of dollars. Like my work is amazing. I change people's lives. And I believed that before, right? I got into that energy before, like I had those clients who were like 100K on scratch off tickets, $10 million contracts, 5K months, 10K months. Obviously we've done more over the period, but that was just in the beginning. But before I had those cool ass testimonials that you've heard me talk about now, it was a hell of a lot of faith and confidence in knowing that the desires of my heart, the work that I felt guided and led and inspired to do in the world was meant to be here. I was meant to put it out into the world and help people with it. Right. And by leveraging that energy, like I just co-created these beautiful experiences with my clients, and they manifested and called it amazing motherfucking shit. So when you join this course, you'll be able to work on the bullshit money fears, your limiting beliefs surrounding money. And when that's locked and loaded, you'll actually be able to book clients easier, selling faster, and manifesting money out of the blue constantly. Are you ready for it? So the Get Lit with Money Bitch course, for the next 48 hours, the cart's open and then it's going away and you will not have access to it. So the Get Lit with Money Bitch course, the course to unfuck your brain with money. As you can see, the link's right here, bit.ly/getlitwithmoney. So for the next 48 hours, the cart will be open. And if you get it within the next 24 hours, you get a bonus bundle. And it's called the Manifest the Fuck Out of Your Life bundle, which this is a bundle I created when I called in my amazing, amazing car that I have now, when I manifested the fuck out of that shit. So I drive a 2017 Jaguar XE. I got that car last year. And before that, my car was a 1996 Pontiac Bonneville. And before that, it was a 1994 Toyota, or 1994, God, what was it? Ford Taurus. And it was like a death box on wheels. And my 96 Pontiac Bonneville looked like it was struck by lightning because it had such a bad paint job and it was just old, right? So I had never had a nice car before. So me getting not only like a nice brand new car, but also a Jaguars are so fun. Like just driving them is really, really fun. But anyway, so getting that car was a big deal for me. And yeah, and all paid for. I paid it off within 2 months of getting it, which was really awesome as well. So yeah, good shit. But this is the bundle I created in celebration of getting that, actually paying off that car. So for the Get Lit with Money Bitch course, there's obviously pay in full, and it's slightly discounted for paying in full, $1,400. Otherwise, there's 4 monthly payments of $397 or 8 bi-weekly payments of $222. So yeah. So in the Manifest the Fuck Out of Your Life bundle, which you get if you get the course within 24 hours, there's 6 trainings in there that have, I think 4 of them have never been released to the public before. Which is awesome. So video 1 is like a group call teaching you how to manifest clients more in depth. And then a video 2 is a group call to teach you about spending from alignment to allow more money, which is fucking huge and vital and important. And I don't know about you guys, if you grew up in an environment growing up where money was scarce, right? Where the scarcity around dollars was just like the way life was, video 2 will just blow your fucking mind and it'll totally radically shift your entire life. So, and then video 3 is a video training on how to attract and book your ideal BFF high and paying clients. So we're going to be talking about, if you're in the phase of doing discovery calls, we get deeper into like sales, and not like the icky, like car salesman sales, but like, you know, just showing up. When I say sales, what it feels like for me is like just showing up and being you and like owning your value and knowing you're the shit and knowing you're here to change people's lives and that you have that ability available to you always. And then it's just showing up and owning that shit. Right. And we go into that more in depth, and that video training sold by itself for $300 when I first launched it. So that is just included. And then a video training on this one is so good. And for the people who have seen this, video 4, it's all about upping your standards. Like, how do you set a new bare minimum for your life? Let's say your bare minimum is like $0.00 in your bank account, or $17 in your bank account, or $5,000 in your bank account, or whatever it is. It's like if you pay attention closely, you have a bare minimum. You have like an energetic minimum, right? So how much money are you just used to having? So for me, at one point in time, you guys heard a little bit about my story in the beginning, but my bare minimum was like just having a roof over my head. Food was negotiable. Money was negotiable. Having gas in my car, those things were all negotiable for me, right? So anyways, I've, over the period of doing this work for the last like 1.5 to 2 years, my energetic minimum has gone way the fuck up. So it's like I have a minimum of thousands of dollars available to me. And my income and my bank account never dip below that, regardless of how much I'm spending, regardless of like how much I'm making, or just whatever. It's like, it just stays there. It's just my energetic minimum, right? So video 4 is, how do you up your standards for your life, right? So how do you go to the next level? That's video 4, and it's amazing. So video 5 in this bonus bundle is, if you're not hitting your financial goals, it's because you don't want to. And what I teach you guys in that video training in video 5 is just kind of creating self-awareness around your subconscious blocks, which is super powerful and amazing. And then video 6 is a bonus training that I did with my twin sister, and it's called How to Manifest the Whatever the Fuck You Want, where we just give you guys like the breakdown on what manifestation actually is and just how to manifest the fuck out of your entire life. Hence the Manifest the Fuck Out of Your Life bundle. Am I right? So again, the Get Lit with Money Bitch course to unfuck your brain with money. It is at bit.ly/getlitwithmoney. And for the next 48 hours, you can join this course and totally change the entire trajectory of your entire life. So not only having clients book you out of the blue because you're just fucking amazing, because you've done the mindset work, because you've upped your standards, because you've changed like the trajectory of your life and your business, and you know your value and you know the value of your work, but also like just blowing the fucking lid off what you thought was possible. Waking up every day and going, holy fucking shit, this is my life. I created this. I did this, right? I want you to have that too, because it's fucking amazing. So yeah, again, for the next 48 hours, bit.ly/getlitwithmoney. And when you get it within 24 hours, you get that bundle, that bonus bundle. And that bundle in itself, we sold it, I think for, like $400 or something like that. But that bundle is amazing. Both these things together, there's no way in hell your life will ever, 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 ever be the same in a very good way. Right? So, yeah. It's bit.ly/getlitwithmoney, and you have 48 hours to grab that if you feel called to it. So yeah, thank you guys so much for being here, and I really, really hope to throw you on this slideshow someday and just tell the world how much your life has changed since you joined this course. Cool. All right. I love you guys. Thank you again for being here, and have a great rest of your day or night wherever you are. Mwah!